This one too?
We're good. Go ahead and start playing. They already started moving people over.
One issue is that my webcam is not going to function, so it's going to have to be turned toward them. I hope it's not intimidating. So I'll frame it up as best I can. Hey, friends. We are live, by the way. Just heads up. We're live.
What?
We're live.
Oh,
Just collecting audio and video. Just heads up.
so don't say anything.
Yeah. You never. Everybody say hi. Hey, color guard.
I need these kids spread out. Like, why are we all on top of each other? You know what I mean? Good morning, everyone. All right, everybody. At this time, I do need everyone's attention. So, parents, thank you for joining us today. This is our first assembly that we've had in about 2 years, 2.5, when COVID first started. So, because of that, I need to remind everyone that proper behavior at a ceremony like this is very different than a pep rally or why you might be in a gym. So my expectation is that you will be quiet through this performance, and we will give our utmost cooperation to everyone that we have up here today for you. So at this time, I want to welcome everybody and say thank you for joining us for our 2021 Eagles Veterans Day program. And I'm so happy that we can do this in person this year. I'd like to take a moment and pay our respects to the men and women that have fought for our country, and it is our responsibility to honor this service and the sacrifice. So, at this time, I would like to ask all active duty service members and veterans to please stand. We greatly appreciate your honorable and faithful service to our great nation. Please give them a hand of applause. Thank you. Next, if you are a spouse of an active duty soldier or a veteran, please stand and be honored for the hardships that you have endured in the absence of your loved ones. My kid was not a little confused on that one. My student had to think for a second, not your turn yet. A spouse, I should clarify, is a husband or a wife. And I love that I saw so many of my sisters understanding, but it's not your time yet. All right, settle down. At this time, I do want to recognize my students, though, because sometimes being a military child is one of the hardest roles that you will play. You have to endure a parent being gone sometimes, and maybe changing schools, There are so many things that are happening in your lives. So at this time, if you have a parent that is a service member, an active duty or a retired military member, and you're one of my students, please stand. Go ahead and have a seat, everyone. It takes a lot of courage to be a military child. You never know what you're going to face, and we are so thankful to have you here with us. At this time, I also want to recognize our teachers that are veterans, and so if you're watching from your classroom, boys and girls that are in the classes, please give them a hand as well. If you are present, please stand when I call your name. Senior Airman Brittany Boucher, U.S. Air Force. Sergeant Charles Heimer, U.S. Army. Sergeant Chad Wilson, U.S. Army Reserve. Sergeant First Class Vanessa Goodman, U.S. Army retired. Major Dean Connor, U.S. Army retired. I appreciate the support, guys, but remember, this is a different type of program, so please just a clap is acceptable. Lieutenant Colonel Lisa Tice, U.S. Army retired. Lieutenant Colonel Darren Haas, U.S. Army retired. Sergeant First Class Thomas Costelletti. Master Sergeant Robert Ladugan, U.S. Army. And Specialist David Mosley, U.S. Army. At this time, ladies and gentlemen and students, please stand quietly for presentation of the colors by the Northeast High School Junior ROTC. The pledge will then be led by Specialist Mosley, and please remain standing for the band choir's presentation of the national anthem.
Please join me in raising two, covering off the right hand and reciting all the allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
This is my song, a song for all the nations, a song of peace for lands of war and life. This is my home, the country where my heart sings. I saw my hopes, my dreams, my dreams shine. As other hearts in other lands are beating, I sing for peace, for oh, beautiful for spacious skies, forever waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, shed His grace on thee. And from thy goodwill, brotherhood, from sea to shining sea,
Thank you, band and choir and our sign language interpreters. I did want to recognize that each of these groups have been working hard to prepare that medley for you. And I do want to recognize our sign language group. It is a new after-school program group, and they've only met, how many times, ladies? Twice to put that together for you. So let's give them another hand, please. Every year, our students participate in an Interview with a Veterans contest. This year, Denaja Atkins was the Northeast Middle School contest winner. At this time, she's not with us at this point in the presentation. She is in 7th grade here at Northeast, so please give her a round of applause. I would like to introduce our guest speaker. I have the privilege to introduce First Lieutenant Eden Kibede. Lieutenant Kibede, excuse me, is a licensed clinical social worker with the Department of Behavioral Health. She currently works as a social worker for the Army and works with soldiers and family members to treat severe mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Please welcome First Lieutenant Kibede.
Good morning, Northeast. How are you doing? Awesome. Make some noise if you're excited to be here. All right. So, thank you so much, Mr. Princess David and Principal for inviting me to come here and speak with you all about legacy. Especially with Veterans Day coming up, I thought that would be a really good thing to talk about. So, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Eden. I'm a native Ethiopian, meaning I was born and raised in East Africa in Ethiopia. And I came to the United States in 2004. So I did my high school, college, and I ended up joining the Army all out of Kentucky. So that's my home state. I have been enlisted I've been in the Army since 2014. Initially, I was enlisted. I was a sergeant, a behavioral health tech. And then in 2018, I crossed over and I commissioned as an officer to become a social worker. So that's a little bit of my journey in the Army. So I was asked to speak a little bit about my experience in the service and how it has impacted the way that I do my contribution and the living legacy in our society. First of all, it's an honor and a privilege to serve in the world's greatest fighting force. Especially to serve soldiers and their family members and kids and spouses when it comes to behavioral health concerns. That's my greatest accomplishment and my greatest privilege. So one of the main things that I do is that I work with individual soldiers to treat mental health issues, whether it is depression, anxiety, PTSD, and other severe mental health issues. So that's kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis. So when I thought about what my contribution to this society would be, I would say the maintenance of freedom, especially us as service members. That's our main job, is whatever job we're doing. At the end of the day, we're all soldiers, airmen, Marine, who will pick up a weapon to defend the Constitution of the United States and then to maintain freedom and peace here in our land and abroad. So I think that my greatest contribution to society would be the maintenance of freedom. So I thought I would talk a little bit about what freedom means to me. So for us in the U.S., freedom means doing what you want to do, when and how you want to do it, and without anyone stopping you from doing it. It simply means you can be you. It also means that you let others be themselves, right? Because everyone has the freedom to be themselves here in our country. And the armed forces, like I said, they fight for the freedom so that we can continue being ourselves. So as a social worker, I believe that one of my main jobs is to help soldiers liberate themselves or emancipate their mind from these mental health issues and gain mental freedom to be their best selves, right? Because sometimes severe mental health issues could be really debilitating and really sad to see. So I do my very best to help soldiers become their best self, to become free physically and mentally. So that's kind of how I see my contribution to the fighting force. Now, I just want to put out that there are millions around the world who don't have the freedom that we have here every day. Simple things like the freedom to go to school, the freedom to play outside, right? The freedom to choose who they want to be with, who they want to marry when they grow up, what to pursue in college, where to even go to college. They don't have freedoms to vote and pick their leaders, or to even live and sleep in peace. There's millions of kids around the world who don't have that. And us, when we were born here and we grew up here, we take freedom very lightly because it was given to us, granted to us, right? But we all need to remember that that is a privilege that so many service members lost their lives for, went abroad and never really came back. Have, People have lost service members for the fight for freedom. So I think that that's very important to remember. We don't really think about that sometimes. What would I suggest, or what would I like for you to think about what your legacy should be? I think what your legacy, well, I can't really tell you what your legacy should be, but I also encourage you to first and foremost think about the freedom that you have. Remember that it's a privilege and honor it. Respect the freedom that you have. Be brave and speak up when you see injustice or unfair treatment going on. I know sometimes middle school and even high school can be a really cruel world. There are students amongst us who can't exercise their freedom, wear what they want to wear, be who they want to be, do what they want to do, speak how they want to speak because of bullying, right? Some students amongst us don't have that freedom. So when you see that taking place in your hallways, be brave and speak up and protect one another because you're all you've got, in these halls. Look beyond yourself and learn about the world, right? The United States is not the only country in the world. There are millions of other people, hundreds of other countries that don't have what we have. So it's important to pay attention to what's going on around you, what's going on around the world, and learn from it so that you can be a better advocate when you grow up, so that you can be brave and speak up when you grow up. The most important thing is honor your family, whether they are service members or civilians. Honor your family because they do their very best to take care of you and give you the freedom to be who you want to be. Honor your country and honor your freedom. The best way to honor it is to always be grateful for it and do the best that you can. And the last thing is with that, whatever you want to become in life, whether it is a doctor or a nurse or an electrician, a plumber, a teacher, whatever you want to be in your life, you have the freedom to pick that. You have the freedom to go to school and pursue what you want to pursue. So take advantage of that because there are kids around the world who don't have that. And the way you can honor that is by being the best doctor, the best nurse, the best musician, the best teacher, the best electrician, the best athlete you can be. And that way you honor your country and your freedom as well. The last thing I would like to say is that remember what the biggest threat to freedom is, and that is ignorance, right? Thinking that we're better than everybody, thinking that your house is better, your clothes are better, your school is better, your family is better than other families, that usually pushes people from being open-minded and paying attention to those who don't have freedom, paying attention to those who have less than us. So always be humble, be willing to learn about others, and that is the best way that you can maintain freedom. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor and a privilege to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mary.
Students, thank you. Again, this was our first assembly like this in a very, very long time. You did outstanding. I want you to think about everything that Lieutenant Commander shared with you today, and I also want you to think about, as you move forward, our SOAR operating principles. Because they align with everything she was talking about today. When I started, see if you can finish it, because we stand for integrity. We own our goal. We are accountable and responsible, and we represent quality. That's Northeast, and that's what it's about. I'm so proud of you guys. In the words of Thomas Jefferson, a nation united can never be conquered. Service members and veterans, thank you all for joining us, and we appreciate your support and sacrifices you made to ensure our world is safer for our children. Thank you all so much, and thank you, students. I appreciate your time today. Everyone, at this time, teachers, if you will begin, Mr. Haas, if you'll begin exiting, is this your crib right here? Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll start exiting out at this door right here. If this side will remain seated for right now.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Happy Veterans Day.